Today on Tia, Niki, and Merida, we're going to talk about Americana in Merida. Yes, living as an Americano in Mexico, the challenges and the rewards of living as an American abroad. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Come on. 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 Welcome back to the show, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm so happy to have you all here with me today. I'm a little wobbly in my table. Let me get straight. I'm happy to have you all here with me today. This week, yes, we are talking about being Americano in Merida, honey. I've had some experiences and I want to share them with you. And you know, I'm always coming with solutions as well. So before we start, you know, I got to give a shout out to my tried and my true. Baby, I am reaching that 200,000. Oh, 200,000. That must be some type of slip of the future, honey. But we're almost at 2,000 subs. And it's all because of you all that we are able to get there. I appreciate you all. Thank you and welcome to my new subbies. And as always, thank you to my true. I appreciate you being here. Now, let's move into our announcements for this week. Woo, woo, woo. Celebrating 1 year on YouTube. Yes, I am. I want to give a shout out to everyone that has been sending these cash apps, honey, and these zeals. I appreciate you all supporting me and giving from your heart. I've told you all before, it don't matter to me if it's 50 cents, a dollar, or $1,000. I'll accept it and I'll appreciate it because you all the reason why I got this mic. I got my new camera. I'm doing good, y'all. So let me pull up these cash apps right quick. And while I am doing that, I also want to give a shout out to, I've had two of y'all clients, now friends, that have moved here to Merida, honey. And y'all are living y'all best lives. One young lady found her place. I talked about that in the last video, and she has moved in and enjoying herself. She's going through her healing and metaphysical processes, and she is getting all the healing and the love. If you haven't seen my video about Merida being a hospital, honey, Merida is a hospital. Go back and look at that video. You should see it right over here on the screen. Okay, I want to give a shout out to Verna. I appreciate you. $2. I appreciate you, Verna. She says, thanks for your content just because. I appreciate that, Verna. Next, my girl, Artinia. I appreciate you, girlfriend. $10 from Artinia. Yes, yes, yes. And I also want to give a shout out to Tanya, who always supports me. She said, for being our Harriet, peace and blessings. Thank you, Tanya. $5 from Tanya. I appreciate you all for giving from your heart. I don't think I had any zeals this week. However, I did have them last week and I gave everybody a shout out. I appreciate you all donating and supporting the channel. It enables me to do so much. And as you all know, we got a lot going on for the month of September and even more going on for October. So we will cover those things at the end of the video. However, I do, which I am so excited about, I have this special going on, 30% off of consultations and on the CTC Cut the Cord course. Honey, 30% off was just bringing you below $30. $29.99 is the price for the consult. You can add $10 and get the course as well. Bundle and save 25% on both. So schedule it. I'm already getting scheduled. Let me tell y'all, you jumping on it. I had somebody send me a message. Shout out, girlfriend. Sent me a message before the day. She left a comment and said, I'm ready to sign up now. She went ahead and got the package deal. She's working on a course. She scheduled a consultation. I don't know what y'all waiting on because these slots are going to fill up fast. I'm telling you. So I want you to get in while you fit in. All right. So keep that in mind. Also, the book club is coming. I had a couple of people sign up for that. And I want to let you know I'm doing a book club. It'll be via Zoom, so it'll be an intimate setting. It will not take place on YouTube. However, with the okay from the participants, I will upload it so you guys can take a peek at what it looks like to see if you want to join. And this book club will also be video and audio. It will not be just specific to books. It will be every type of media. We'll be opening it up and we'll be discussing any and everything that we want to bring to the table. This is about growth, expansion, abundance, and manifesting. All right. So without further ado, let's move into the topic. American in Merida, Americano. Living abroad, the challenges and the rewards of being an expat and living abroad. Okay. And as I mentioned, I did have an experience that I want to share with you all that really triggered this discussion. Okay, so we'll get into that, but we're going to go through over just some couple of things right quick. And a couple of these are repeats from previous videos because I'm going to keep saying it because I want you all to invest and do the work. Okay, so media management. The first thing that's going to happen to you, honey, besides the heat, when you move to Merida or move abroad, is adjusting to media and how you engage. So in the States, you're used to your local broadcast stations, your networks. You turn on your tube if you're a tube person, or you turn on your music. This is applicable to both, okay? Pay attention. You're gonna run into a wall there. A lot of people check into hotels or get Airbnbs that may not have cable, or even if they do have cable, it's all in Espanol, honey. It's all in Spanish. So you're like, well, I missed my show. I want to see Newsday. I want to say Good Day America or whatever. I don't look at a lot of television. But for those of you that do, I want to let you know what you need to do. So first thing you need to do is understand that you'll probably move from a television to your phone in the interim until you get your cable, or you get Total Play or Telmex and Phantom and get your internet. Everything will be basically internet. So on your phone, make sure that you get VPN. That way you can access your apps like Prime Video. You see a lot of your shows on Prime Video. I'm a member of Prime Video. So VPN is the way that you will access that and access all of the shows that they have. If you don't have VPN, they're going to say, I see you're traveling abroad, and it will limit your viewership. You won't be able to see a lot of things. This also happens if you have internet on your television and you don't have the VPN installed on your television or your router, which you can do. You can put VPN on your router so that whatever device is connected through your internet router, it will automatically have the VPN access, okay? So these are things to keep in mind. Also with music, I like Pandora. Pandora is not international. It's specific to certain countries. VPN allows me access to listen to Pandora music. A lot of people use Spotify or Google Music. Check and make sure that you're accessible abroad when traveling to access your music and access your videos or media entertainment. Okay, this is so important. This is so important. Yes, it is. Because all of us are using some form of it. Even if you have Prime Video where you have books, you may need VPN to access like Audible and things like that. Freevee TV, which is a app that is also separate for Prime Video and also in the app itself. So keep these things in mind, y'all. Also, a lot of us, and this is something that I did, a lot of us are disconnecting from American media, okay? So there are, if you go on to Facebook, Mid City Beats is a local internet company. They're on Facebook, and they also broadcast like interviews and things like that in English. But however, they are based in Merida, not too far from here. So they have a studio and they provide interviews, information, just a gamut of interest, things going on in the city, the library, Merida Speaks, where you can have conversations and learning the language for other people, and they keep you abreast of all the goings-ons in Merida. So it's a great resource, Mid City Beats. It's on Facebook, and I will also put a link in the description. So that is what I use to connect to things going on in the area, because I have disconnected from news, media, propaganda, American things. Now, the good thing is I am a social media person, so I'm a TikTokie. I don't post a lot, but I scroll a lot. So I find a lot of my information on TikTok. A lot of people use Twitter or Facebook to keep up with the goings-ons in the States, because as I mentioned, we may be living here or aspiring to live here, but we'll always be connected, detached, but connected. So I've detached from American media. However, I see the fires. I see the mass pop-outs. I see a lot of femicide going on. And that's what my channel, Rise of the Divine, is about, addressing these particular issues that we don't address here. However, although I'm always connected. I'm always connected. It's where I was born. It's where my money come from. It's how I roll. However, I am detached from the drama as I continue to go through the healing process. And a lot of you all are going to experience this type of transition. And if you haven't seen it, go back and look at my video, Transition to Merida, where I get into detail a lot of things that are going to happen when you come here. So it's going to take a minute for you to decompress and adjust. And within those adjustments is the media, entertainment, or whatever form of entertainment that you use, whether it be educational purposes or just, shucking and jiving, right? Old term for my young people. Okay. Another thing, and this is repetitive, and I'm going to say it in a lot of videos, is the language. And not in the sense of learning it, just a sense of being around it in the environment where you're hearing it every day and where people are interacting and maybe you're not because you haven't learned it yet. So being Americano in Mexico is a language, undercurrent of language that you'll need to learn, adjust to, and get adapted to hearing. And the good thing is the more you hear words, you'll pick up. I often tell you all start with food, because pollo pechuga is the chicken breast. If you eat meat, cebola is onion for my vegans. So just learning the language will help. And while you're in the hallway of learning, hearing it, being around it every day will impact you, and you'll realize I am indeed in a foreign country. I am indeed in a period of adjustment and transition. So these are some of the challenges that you will face: the language, media management, being detached versus disconnected. Okay. Always, honey, the weather. We don't even need to go into that into depth. The weather is hot. Now, rainy season is from July to October, so it rains every day, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours. Sometimes you lose electricity. That's happened to me. Sometimes you don't. Total play is what I have. It stays on. Internet runs. The only thing that disconnects that is the electricity. So wherever you move or wherever you decide to stay, ask the landlord, management company, Airbnb holder, or a representative or property manager what utilities you have in your property and what you can obtain. Like, is this a Telmex and Phantom only area? You have to be inside the perimeters to do that, right? So we're going to take a look at a map too, and this is going to help you all a lot with this transition so you can see where you are. I often say pull up the map of Merida. So I'm going to do it for you in this episode, and we're going to look at it together. Okay. So we'll do that. Actually, let's do that right now. Okay, guys, the first part of the map that we're going to look at is a broad overview of Merida. Now you'll see the circle around the city, the actual outline around the city. This is the city limits of Merida. Anything outside of the city limits, this dotted peripheral of this area, is where you begin to have challenges with internet service, Rappi, DD deliveries, things of this sort. So take time and look at this map. Also, if you look to the left, you will see how far the beach is. So the beach is just right here. My left, it would be both of our lefts. Yes, so it is right there to the left. A lot of people live out that way. I didn't zoom into the cities on that particular part because I just want us to focus on this particular part of Merida. So you see Francisco de Montejo, Zitzia, which starts with a D over to the left, Cauquel. You can now see where Cauquel is. And all of this is relative to central in distance. Now we're going to move on to a more condensed picture of Merida on the map, where you can now see the actual colonials. The places that are highlighted in blue are places that I've actually visited. So that helps a lot because it can show you where the airport is down here to your lower left, compared to Central, which is directly in the middle of your screen. Central meaning central, which is downtown in most cities. Home Depot, we only have a few in the city. One is close to Francisco de Montejo, which is a very popular area with expats. So is Harbor Mall. Zitzia, you see a little closer, Cauquel. And then to the right of, or to the east of Merida, you see the Bodega Herrera, that's in Los Hitos, Macro Plaza, and Altabrisa. Cholul, if you want to know what Cholul is, it is east. It is northeast compared to Cauquel, which is northwest. So pause this, take a look at it. You'll begin to have a familiarity with exactly what Merida look like. You know, we often say it's a big little city, and it really is, because it has so many colonials and little areas that are in dense population and rural. Concal, if you look all the way to the right at the top of your screen, is also east, northeast, very northeast. I live east as well. I used to live west over in the close to the Francisco de Montejo area and Grand Plaza, but I have moved to the opposite side of town, which is much quieter. It's more dense over, the closer you get to Central, the more dense the population becomes, and busy and loud. In my previous videos, I mentioned that Merida is loud, and it is in some places. But as you notice, the dotted lines around the city, again, that is the city limits. Anything outside of that is where you want to definitely question your landlord, or if you're buying property, to make sure that you're able to access services that are available inside of this city limit automatically. Also on the outskirts of the city is where the rent gets a little better, a lot better in some cases the further out you go. If you look down to the right, which would be southeast at Canacine, that's where I mentioned that rent out there could be as low as $100 US a month. Look at it on the outside of the perimeter. Although they do have some goods and services, however, they still have their own stores and everything they need in that colonial. They do not need to come outside to go anywhere. I also want to bring your attention to the bottom right screen where the arrow is in the little man. When you go on Google Maps, you can get that little man and drag him into Merida and look at things at street view. Okay? So do this. When you're laying in the bed or sitting at your computer doing nothing or scrolling, take a minute and go down here to the right and drag that little man, and the screen will highlight all the areas that you can see at ground level. Okay, so, and you can also walk. You can use your mouse to click and move forward through some of these areas and get an idea of what it looks like. And I will tell you, we do have cameras on most corners. I will say that Merida is very much more high-tech than people think, and you will see when you get here. So this is just a short overview of the map of Merida. I encourage you to go onto your Google Maps, pull it up, it'll come up just like this, and drag the little man down there on the right and go to some of these colonials to see how it looks. And you can just scroll yourself from your bed without having to get up and be in the heat and see how it looks. Okay, welcome back. I hope that map helped you to understand kind of how Merida is a big little city, where we're situated. If you see places you want to see and they're in these colonials, now you can say, okay, I have an idea of where that is. That's northwest of Central, or southeast of Central, or northeast of Central. I am east. I'm on the east side. I live east of Merida, of Central. So I got friends that live north, but I'm more like southeast. Close to Canacine, which is extremely rural. They're paying $100 out there for rent, child, 2,000 pesos. But it's not anywhere near the city, and it's a colonial, unlike any. It's one of the older areas in Merida. So the map will help you look at that before you visit. Look at this video again. Go back, pause it, and really zoom in and look at it and see where you want to stay. And you can see Caucal, you can see Concal, you can see Zitzia, Central, all of these different places. And then I've been a lot of places in Merida, so the map that you looked at also covered pinpoints where I have visited. All right, so now we're going to move on into this experience that I had that reminded me that I was an American living abroad. Okay, a couple of things happened. The first thing is I was sitting outside the other day. As I mentioned, this is a rainy season, so it's a lot cooler, and it will continue to cool as the months go on. And also ticket prices will increase the closer it gets to Christmas, Thanksgiving and Christmas, because a lot of people leave the States where it's cold and come here where it's warm. So the prices for the tickets go up, and the housing costs also increase. So the best time to look for housing is between April and I would say September, no later than October, the beginning of October, because you will notice that these prices increase and then they decrease once the snow bunnies have left. So my experience here, so I was sitting outside, I was waiting on the trash man because it works a lot differently here. The truck doesn't come down the street and pick up the trash and pick up the thing and empty it and stop. Then go a couple of houses and pick up the trash and pick up the trash and stop. They actually park the truck, go to each house, gather the trash, sit it on the corner. The truck comes and then they throw everything into the truck, into the trash truck. I learned that by sitting out there because I would very seldom hear them, and trash is a thing here. I've had trash issues both places that I've lived. So this place, they come Monday, they come 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. However, they vary throughout the time of the day. We have stray dogs that have gone in the trash. A lot of people hang their trash in small bags on their fence. They just hook it on the fence. I have walls in front of my house, so I don't have a fence to hook it on. And, you know, consequently, the dogs have gotten in my trash a couple of times. So the remedy for that, because y'all know I'm all about solutions, all about it, vinegar. Put vinegar inside of the bag. Put vinegar on any meat that you're throwing away or anything that a dog would eat or find attractive, and then put it in a bag with your toilet paper. And then put that bag in another bag, put more vinegar on the inside and outside of the bag. It works. And vinegar here is like 25 cents, 35 cents for the big bottle. Stock up on them and then when you put the trash out, pour it over the bag. A lot of people here don't have the trash cans, the big trash cans, or the ones that you wheel out with the top. They don't have that. They just set the bag on the corner. So I'm adapting to the way of life here and learning through the process and sharing with you guys what I learned. Use vinegar. It works. So I'm sitting out waiting on the trash man, and I hear kids playing out in front of my wall, my gate, and then laughing. And I hear Americano, and they ring my doorbell. They don't know that I'm sitting out there, and I open the gate, open my door, and I see them hauling tail down the street. Now, these are pranksters. They are, when I grew up, I did it. It's funny to live. Merida is very retro. It's very 70s feeling here to me. So it's funny to be in a community and environment where they still do that, right? Where kids play outside and actually do prank doorbell runs, right? It survived 50 years. So, and I'm sure they were doing it long before I was here. So that happened. Now, kids are kids, and that's what they do. However, it made me aware of a couple of things. It made me aware that they knew that I was American and I was living here. And if the kids know, that means that probably everybody in the neighborhood has realized that we're here. Americanos are here, and they moved into the neighborhood. And that, you all, TW, I got a trigger. And I was like, I felt like they was calling me Iggers. You know, for a minute, I had to gather myself because, you know, in the States, that's what we experience. The people say, oh, so-and-so, the Iggers moved into the neighborhood, and they leave. You know what I'm saying? So it triggered, and I knew it was me. I knew, and this is what I want y'all to understand. This healing thing is a process. You'll be having a good day, going about your day, and something will happen like that and trigger you. You all know I suffer from PTSD. I went through depression and all of these things from living in the States. So I'm not as easily triggered living here. However, I'm triggered by certain things, and this was something that triggered me. But I knew immediately that it was not them, it was me. And I don't know to which the depths that is them. I didn't feel threatened or anything like that. It wasn't out of any animosity or hate. It was like culturism, you know, and I'm thinking, well, you American too, because we on the same continent. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, Canada, United States, and Mexico, we share North America. So we on the same continent. You American too. And I immediately found offense with it when it wasn't meant to be offensive. So that means I needed to check what's going on inside of me. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I'm being triggered by my experiences in the States, and I'm sure that wasn't their intent. This is something that happens. How do I respond to that? So as that was simmering in my soul, I went to Soriana's, which I really like, grocery store here up at Alta Brisa Mall. It's great. It's fabulous. They have a great restaurant section in the store, in the grocery store. They just built it. It's great. They have fresh pastries and it's a bakery. It's great. Go check it out. So I go there. I get a little something. I get in the checkout line. I get a man my card. I'm excited. I'm always excited. And the guy comes up because they still bag here, and he's bagging my groceries. He's having a conversation with the cashier, and I hear the word Americano again. I'm like, what's going on with the I've been here over a year, y'all, and I have not encountered anyone talking about Americano or experienced it in that context. So I responded, sí, Americano. And so the bagger actually said thank you in English. He said a couple of words in English, and I responded to him in Spanish, which is gracias, buenas tardes, adios, hasta luego. You know, because I'm not sure what that was about, but once again, I didn't feel threatened. It just was a trigger for me. I had a friend, I asked a friend, how how does everybody feel? Or from your point of view, have you encountered anybody feeling a certain kind of way with all these people moving here? Americans moving here, specifically black women moving here. And he said, we don't really look at you like that. We just look at you as people. And I was like, that's cool. And then because my mother has traveled abroad, she told me in every other place, we're not black or white, we're just American. So I'm remembering these things, and I'm taking into account the situations that I'm experiencing and interacting with the public and what that looks like and what it feels like. And I'm going to tell y'all, it triggered me. But I resolved it in myself, and this is part of my therapy. I be telling y'all, I do these videos because this is a part of my therapy, to talk to you all about these situations, about things that I encounter, because you may encounter it, and how to solve it or how to deal with it, and see it from different points of view and not be offended by it. Because if it's one thing Merida people are not, is offensive. They're very accepting and inviting and loving. And I talked about that in the last video, Privileged in Merida, where I went through the pros and the cons of that privilege and what it looks like, being appreciative of it versus entitlement, and how that can be abusive not only to yourself but to others. So keeping that in mind, I realized that I am privileged to be here, and that I am trying to interweave myself into the environment, into the culture. But at the end of the day, y'all, at the end of the day and the beginning of the night, I will always be an Americano living abroad, or an American in Paris, or an American, that's my mom's favorite movie, or American in Africa, or an American in Asia. And it is the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the situation. It's about, and it's not, it's that, and it's how I respond, react, and reply to it, or choose not to. So I had to dig in my soul and say, hey, I'm in a different environment. This is what I am. This is who I'm a human being. And what's most important is who I am to myself, not who I am to other people. And not be offended by the fact that they don't understand or can't relate, and I'm just this particular label to them. You know what I mean? I need y'all to understand this, and I've learned this, and it's been very, 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 very important to my growth. Everybody has a version of you in their brain that ain't accurate. It's not. They have a version, everybody, including you, have a version of other people in your mind that is not accurate. You don't know their thoughts. You don't know their experiences. There's no way we barely know ourselves in a lifetime, nonetheless somebody else. So when you're dealing with people, you're in situations that may have triggers, or that may set you off, or may leave you confused or bewildered or doing soul searching. Understand, whatever you're contending with, whatever's on the opposite side of that, has a version of you that is not accurate. And it's okay. That just means that we're all, individually, perfectly imperfect. How about that? Okay, so that was my experience in both of those. I wanted to share that with you guys because it really impacted me. It impacted, a lot of things. Like, I was like, I don't want to live over here no more. I went through that for a minute. Maybe I need to move back north where it's more expats at. What can I do kind of to protect myself, because that's what I'm used to doing in the States, protecting myself. I don't feel safe. This is the second safest city in North America, y'all. It's no reason not to feel safe at all. If you have a safety concern, look inwardly. Really, seriously. Or if you've been threatened, that's a different thing. If it's a toxic situation, that's a different thing. But if it's something popping off, look inwardly. I would encourage you to do that. That's what I have done. And I told y'all I'm going to still move from over here. I don't know. I may move out further. Cortez has moved out further. A lot of people are moving more rural because it's better priced for rent, period. It's less expensive. That's what I was trying to say. It's more affordable, and you can get more for your bang and your butt. And a lot of people are erecting new properties out here. So they have things like a built-in osmosis system where you can drink the water and flush the toilet paper. They have a building coming up, a building that they're building right now called the Sky. And every time I go down the Periferico, which is the highway, Periferico, it's taller and taller and taller. It's skyscraperish. I would assume that it would be the tallest building in Merida. Now, I don't know if it's retail or if it's commercial, retail, or residential. It may be like they're doing in the States where they have commercial at the bottom and residential up top. There are some places, the Bynum apartment building in Merida. Bynum apartment building in Merida is like that, has several restaurants at the bottom, and then it's a very tall high rise with apartments above it. I've been there. I know a young lady that lives there. Rent over there is about $1,100 a month, which is pretty expensive. That's US dollars. Pretty expensive for Merida. However, you get to see the sunset. You have a balcony. It's extremely modern. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. I tend to like houses more than apartments. Now, the thing that I like about the Bynum, check this out. Not the Bynum, the Sky. Check this out. That's the one that they're building. It has a mirrored front, so you don't have to worry about curtains, and it also keeps that heat out. Is insulated, which keeps the heat out. Another thing is, between the platforms of the apartments, they have built some type of concrete barrier, so my ceiling is not my neighbor's floor. There's a padding in between there. That to me is ingenious, and it makes living in an apartment more attractive to me, because I cannot take the running back and forth kids and stuff, jumping and playing always time. Feel like they bowling or doing construction upstairs whenever I've lived in the apartments. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So these have a barrier, a sound barrier in between the floors. This is the Sky in Merida. Go online, look it up. It's beautiful. If it's residential, I wonder how much it'll cost, because it looks expensive. It looks expensive. And I wonder how high it will be, because now it's got to be up to probably about 12 floors the last time I saw it. So it'll be interesting to see how many floors it'll be, and I'll check out the specs on it and let you guys know. Just in case you want to come and live at the Sky, right? So we're bringing a lot of trauma with us from the States here, guys. Keep that in mind. As an American living abroad, wherever we go, we're going to take that the US, I tell y'all, come with side effects. Diabetes, high blood pressure, gout, depression, PTSD, ADHD. It come with it. Here in Merida, they don't even have a children's, and Cortez has talked about his challenge with finding children's psychiatric help, because it's not a thing here. It's not normal for kids to have psychiatric problems, neurological disorders. It's an American thing. And a lot of the children are suffering and coming in here for healing along with the adults. So we're taking that with us. So we may have some trigger warnings, y'all. Some things may happen to just set you off. So keep that in mind when you choose sides of town to live on. Y'all know I got my notebook. When you choose sides, people want to live more with expats because they feel more secure, or they feel that the language, and it's true, a lot of the stores speak more English. A lot of the areas that you go in heavily concentrated expat areas do have more locals that speak English. They are eager to learn, and they learn very, very quickly. So there are popular places, and there also are places that are rural, y'all, where there are no expats or expats coming through going to another colonial. Southeast, as we looked at on that map, the south and going southeast is a pretty unexplored territory from what I understand. I mean, really, when we came out here, Cortez had not come out this far to Los Heros and Las Brisas area. Is on the other side of Alta Brisa, and most people just kind of stop right there, because that's where Cholul starts. And Cholula does have a lot of expats living there. In these rural areas to the older side, the south side of Merida, you will find more locals, not a lot of expats. As you begin to go north and west, that's where you'll find a lot of expat communities. So go back and look at the map and you'll see these places that I'm talking about, and it'll give you an idea. So when you come here, you won't be completely and utterly lost. Because it's going to take a lot. It's hard enough moving to a different city or state. Just imagine moving to a different country. Okay. So I hope this experience helped you guys. I won't go long today. We're at the 35-minute mark. So right now I'm just going to give some closing information. We'll recap the special that we're having. I thank you guys for being with me today. I appreciate it. Again, all of the support. I appreciate you shopping on Etsy and on Spreadshop and ordering the shirts. I have ordered a shirt so you guys can see. I've also started the journals. So journals are in full effect. They are on Etsy, the electronic version or digital journal. A lot of you all have asked me for the physical journal. I have sent one as a demo to print, y'all. It is in printing right now. I'm so excited. I'm so excited and I just can't fight it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Whoop, whoop. It is in printing, honey. And so next time when I get it, I'll be able to hold it up to you guys and you can see how it physically looks. And then under the comments, you can say, I want this one, I want that one. I have one person that has ordered a number 7, which is a good one. All of these are labeled with numbers on Etsy, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so forth. And you can just tell me what number you want for the cover. The inside of the journal will be identical on each version. So if you want a physical one, it's coming, baby. It's in print. If you want a physical t-shirt, go over to Spreadshop and order that. I have tote bags, t-shirts, mugs, everything. Now, if you order directly from me, it will be coming from Mexico. You will have to pay shipping, but we have UPS, we have FedEx, we have DHL, and I'll send it right out to you for the physical version of the journal. So make sure you do that. Also, video audio book club that is coming up on the 18th of this month. If I do not get enough inquiries, y'all, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna mess around with it. I'm gonna let it go and we'll move on to the next thing and keep it as an open option for the future. However, I really want us to get into that because it is a great opportunity to build a community. It's also a great opportunity to educate and learn. And without saying, it's an awesome opportunity for growth. So I encourage you to join the book club. The link is in the description. There is no fee for the book club, just a love offering, please, to support the channel, to support Tia Niki, and support the efforts of the participants, okay? Also, 20% off at Shop Etsy. So if you're interested in getting any journals, go on there, get your journal now. That will be running for the month of September, along with Spreadshop, where you can get 10% off any goodies on there. I am excited to announce the isolation workbook has been completed, y'all. I am so excited. As I mentioned at the beginning of this show, it is ready. I am finishing up a few little things and it will be available on Etsy for $4.44 with 20% off for the isolation work covenant. Isolation. We got to break the bond that we have with isolation because it is a self-imposed act. You see, isolation is a choice. It's an inside job, y'all. The world is always moving. Things are always happening. There are always opportunities to engage, to grow, and to explore. And if you're choosing not to do that, you're choosing to isolate yourself. So we have a workbook that's going to help you work through that, help you to heal, and help you to break the bond that you have with isolation and separation anxiety. So pick up that book, y'all. $4.44 over at Etsy, pre-sale with a 20% off discount using the code SAVE20. Now, the isolation workshop is coming up and you will need that workbook. I will be offering that with the course at a higher price. So go get it now. It's going to go from $444 to $555. And so get it now. I'm going to look at giving away a version of it for the isolation workshop. We did the last workshop, which was a awesome success. I can't thank you all enough for joining the self-worth workout workshop, honey. And we worked it out. If you haven't seen it, go back to the live tab in the navigation on YouTube and check it out. It is awesome. I will probably end up adding that to the list of videos so you all can get to it quickly, but I encourage you to take advantage of these workshops. They are adjacent to the Cut the Cord course, a guide on how to leave the USBS, which we have a special on right now, 30% off. Take the course. It's more extensive. It has 12 modules. It's going to take you through every step of the way you need to break the bond and the trauma that you're experiencing in the States. A lot of y'all ready to go, don't know how to do it, scared to do it, and don't even know why you're scared. That's what this course is for, and that's what these workshops are for, to help you work through your fear, through whatever self-limiting beliefs that you have and self-imposed isolation that we all experience at some point in our lives, especially when we live in the United States, where isolation is oftentimes better than engaging with the toxicity of civilization in America. So I will tell you this, being an American abroad is better than being an American in America. I'm going to tell you that. That is the truth. So my goal is to inspire the change you desire, to get you where you need to be, baby. The Underground Railroad is always chugging along, and it's going to make a stop. I'm making stops near you to pick you up and get you out of the environment, the toxicity, the USBS, baby. It's thick and it's getting thicker every day. There is so much going on in the world and going on in the United States. So I will keep you all abreast of the isolation workshop. I'm looking at possibly the third week of this month. However, I will keep you updated. I'm going to create a registration form for that so you can register for the isolation workshop. You guys blew my mind with this self-worth workshop. Blow me away again and join the workshop. So I will leave you with this today. I heard this and it moved me. And so my goal is to move and remove obstacles that are in your way. So this universe is capable of manifesting anything that you want. All you have to do is ask, believe, and receive, right? So, with that said, until next time, peace.